You're sitting there looking at a faang job listing, and part of you thinks there's no way. Maybe you didn't go to a top school, maybe you didn't start coding in middle school, maybe you have already applied to big tech jobs and heard nothing back, and you're starting to wonder if people like you actually get these jobs or if it's just for a certain type of person. I'm Chase, a software engineer at Meta, and I did not have the resume you'd expect. No top 20 college, no coding in high school, no connections. I switched into CS my freshman year from pre-med with zero programming experience, and I still made it into one of the most competitive companies in tech. In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how I did it, the preparation, the strategy, the resume, and the interview process, so you have a clear roadmap to follow. If you want to know the exact steps that took me from a complete beginner to a Meta software engineer, stay until the end. So my first point is that you do not need to be a prodigy. The biggest lie in CS is that you have to start young. I never coded in high school, not even once, and I started college as a pre-med student and only switched to CS in my freshman year after realizing that medical school was a 10+ year commitment that I didn't want to go through, and I had actually never written a line of code before my first computer science class. Within a year, I was on the same level as people who had been coding for years. Why computer science is a level playing field after year one is because the fundamentals reset everyone, and hard work is going to beat a head start every single time. The people who make it aren't the ones who started the earliest, they're actually the ones who outworked the curriculum. And really, there were two main reasons I chose CS. The first one is that there's a really high ROI straight out of undergrad. You can earn six figures without going to grad school or getting a master's degree. And the second reason is because you can build real things, apps, websites, or products. I saw people doing this and I wanted in. Now, this next point is extremely important, and it's probably the reason 90% of CS grads don't even have a shot at getting into big tech. And that's the simple fact that your classwork is not career prep. This is a mistake that kills most people's chances. Now, don't get me wrong, CS coursework is hard. There's classes like operating systems and compilers, but finishing your degree is not enough to land a top tech job. The students who land companies like Meta or Google are outworking the curriculum. What you have to do beyond class is interview prep. So companies like Meta or Google are going to ask specific types of questions, and your professors at college are not going to prepare you for them. Leak code is obviously its own genre at this point, and you want to start early and use it consistently. And there's a ton of YouTube videos where people go over specific leak code problems as well, and also cracking the coding interview or CTCI is still one of the best starting resources. Next is mock interviews, and those are also really important because there's platforms where you can pair up with other candidates for realistic practice, and that's extremely important because it's totally different than just sitting by yourself and quietly coding these problems with music in the background. And you want to do these mock interviews early because being uncomfortable in a mock interview is a lot cheaper than being uncomfortable in a real interview. But you do also want to get your reps in with real interviews as well. You want to apply constantly even before you feel fully ready because every interview is going to sharpen your skills and ultimately they are free reps. You want to treat everyone like practice and not a final exam. Also, internships every summer is a non-negotiable in my opinion. A big name internship on your resume changes everything and opens more doors than anything else ever could. Nvidia, Google, or Meta, any of those type of companies on your resume dramatically increases your odds of getting interviews at other top companies. And I know that sounds unfair, but if you think about it from a hiring standpoint and from big tech's point of view, it makes sense because if a candidate already has one of these companies on their resume, that's a pretty strong signal, and then the odds that they perform well at your company is going to be pretty high. Like for example, if someone previously worked at Meta and they're switching to Google, they have a pretty good shot of performing well there. Now my next point is going to be about the resume because your resume is going to be your ticket to actually landing the interview. Most people underestimate how much the resume actually matters. Recruiters spend only 6 seconds on your resume. That's it. They're not reading for your bullet points, they're scanning for signals. Specifically, they're scanning for the signal that matters most, which is recognizable company names. What actually gets you past the filter is big name internships, which is unfair, but it's the truth, and also a clean one-page format with no fluff or no filler, and also achievements over responsibilities. So what you built, what improved, and by how much, and also keywords that match the job posting. ATS systems actually filter this before a human ever sees it. So what's the fastest way to stand out without a big name internship? A strong project section, and that's especially true for new grads, and also if you do have open source contributions, that's a plus. And finally, is having something that you've built that's real that you can point to. And by the way, if you want the exact resume template I used to get hired at Meta, click the first link in the description and I'll send it to you for free. But for now, let's get back to the video. Now, my next point you need to understand is that referrals are the side door. It's kind of funny, but oftentimes the hardest part of landing a top tech job isn't necessarily the interview, it can be getting the interview. And the reason that is because most applicants never hear back because they applied cold just through the website. But if you have a referral from someone inside the company, that's going to bypass the application filter entirely. Basically, you go from random resume to someone actually vouched for this person. So how do you get a referral? You can use LinkedIn outreach and reach out to meta engineers or hiring managers. You want to be direct and specific when you do this, and also keep it pretty brief. Another thing you can do is attend tech meetups and hackathons. That's actually how I got my referral. Another thing you can leverage is alumni networks, because people from your school who are already at big tech are often willing to refer you. But keep in mind, when you're using these strategies, the first thing you want to do is build genuine relationships, and only then you want to ask for the referral. So really, there's an important mindset shift that you need to have. Most people think that the interview is the hard part, but it's not. Once you're in the interview room, it's all up to you. Oftentimes the hard part is just getting in the room to begin with, and referrals get you in that room. So let's talk about how meta interviews actually work. Meta's format is pretty different from most companies, and most people don't know this going in. You're typically going to have 45 to 50 minutes per interview round, and they expect you to solve 2 LeetCode mediums per session. Yeah, you heard me right. 2 mediums, 1 interview under 50 minutes. And your solution needs to be pretty much optimal or near optimal, not just working. So what does that mean for your prep? Speed matters as much as correctness. So you want to practice timed sessions. You don't just want to solve the problems, you want to solve them quickly, and you want to solve them optimally. If you can't explain your approach clearly while you're coding, you're going to struggle. So you want to focus as much as possible on data structures and algorithms. As a new grad, you're not going to be asked system design. The specific areas to focus on are the large categories like arrays and strings, trees and graphs, dynamic programming, hash maps, and sorting and searching. What interviewers are actually evaluating is, can you code proficiently under pressure? Do you understand why your solution works? And can you communicate your thinking while you solve? So I'll tell you about the mindset that got me there. Most people give up before they get good. My first interviews were absolutely terrible. I got rejected everywhere, but that was fine and I expected it. But I kept going. Every rejection to me was a free lesson in what I needed to fix. The truth about the people who land a top tech job like Meta, they're no smarter than you. They're just working when you're not. They have consistent reps over months, and that beats raw talent every time. What I'd honestly tell my earlier self is that you want to start interview prep earlier than you think you need to, and also you want to get internship experience at any company and then level up from there. Don't wait until you feel ready to apply, because you learn by doing, and honestly, one referral can change absolutely everything, so you want to invest in your network. So let me tell you about what your roadmap should look like, whether you're in school or whether you've already graduated. If you're in school right now, you want to switch to CS or software engineering. If you haven't, it's not too late, even in sophomore year. You also want to start LeetCode now, not the semester before you graduate. And also, you want to get any internship you can your first summer, because that's going to be the stepping stone for you to target big names from there. And also, you want to build something real, like an open source project, and put it on your resume. Now, if you're a recent grad or a career switcher, your timeline is tighter, but the path is essentially the same. You want to focus on LeetCode, cracking the coding interview, and mock interviews pretty much every week. You want to reach out for referrals on LinkedIn. More people actually will respond than you expect. And you want to apply to more companies than you think you need to. You want to have volume plus quality. The non-negotiables, regardless of what stage you're currently at, you want to have a one-page resume with achievements, not responsibilities. You also want to have interview prep that goes way beyond what school teaches. You want to have internship or project experience that proves that you know how to build, and also at least one referral attempt at your target company. So that's exactly how I went from a pre-med freshman with 0 coding experience to a software engineer at Meta, and the roadmap you can follow to do the same. I know this works because I lived it, and it's the exact process I walk people through when they work with me. Now, if you want to take the next step, click the first link in the description and grab the exact resume template I used to get hired at Meta. It's completely free. That's the same template that got me past the ATS, past the recruiter screen, and into the interview room. And if you're not ready for that yet, I highly recommend watching the video on screen next, where I break down how to find tech jobs with low competition, because knowing how to get into Meta is only half the equation. You also need to know where to look. Thanks for watching, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.